Hello, friend. I want to tell you about the Volvo V70 car. When looking for a large, comfortable, and relatively cheap estate car, you usually look for an Audi A6, or maybe an Opel Vectra or Ford Mondeo. The Volvo V70 is less often considered because you are afraid of potentially high repair costs. Meanwhile, users claim that this is the last such durable and reliable Volvo, and what is more, quite cheap to maintain. The design of the V70 is interesting because 5-cylinder engines are placed transversely under the hood, which is why the gearboxes are small. The front suspension is a classic McPherson strut, while the rear is a multi-link. The car is powered exclusively by 5-cylinder engines, both petrol and diesel. Even the supercharged 2-liter with 180 horsepower has 5 cylinders. The base unit is a naturally aspirated 2.4 with 140 and 170 horsepower, and its supercharged version develops 200 horsepower and was offered only until 2003. Then it was replaced by a modern 2.5T engine with variable valve timing and 210 horsepower. The sporty version of the T5 was first powered by a 2.3T unit with 250 horsepower, and from 2003 by a 2.4T with 260 horsepower. However, this design is not the same one that has 200 horsepower. The most powerful version of the car, marked with the letter R, received the aforementioned 2.5T engine, but with 300 horsepower. Diesels are two different designs. 2.5 TDI from Audi develops 140 horsepower and was offered for a short time, from 2000 to the end of 2001. Then, a new Volvo diesel appeared, marked as D5, with a capacity of 2.4 liters and 130 and 163 horsepower. In 2004, a 185 horsepower version was added, and a year later, a 126 horsepower version. The Volvo V72 was also offered with AWD drive, which realizes the transfer of torque to the rear axle through a multi-plate clutch manufactured by Haldex. It works quickly and efficiently. It was paired with petrol engines 2.4T and 2.5T, and was also installed as standard in the R. As for diesels, the AWD system was offered for units with an output of 163 and 185 horsepower. Volvo V72. Which engine to choose? In principle, any except the German 2.5 TDI. This is also not a bad unit, but it is not worth it, since the 2.4D is much better. In addition, the durability of the TDI equipment is lower, and significantly so. Let's start with the petrol engines again. Absolutely unrivaled in terms of economy is the naturally aspirated Ardent Cedian. This engine can burn quite little, below 811 kilometers on the road. In the city, it is slightly worse. However, it is more suitable for gasification than any other. You just need to choose the right installation. The only recurring fault for all petrol engines is a throttle valve and flow meter failure. The first sign of a fault is fluctuating RPM. It is worth noting that Volvo developed this unit together with Porsche technicians. Although it has a rather low power of 140 horsepower, the dynamics are satisfactory. The 170 horsepower version performs better, and it does not burn more fuel. If you are looking for more dynamics and are also ready to spend more, it is worth looking around for one of the turbo engines. It doesn't really matter which one, because they are all good. It is worth remembering to regularly change the oil every 15,000 kilometers and the timing drive, along with the accessory drive. Each of these engines works well with LPG. Each of the Volvo V70 petrol engines paired with a manual transmission has a dual-mass flywheel. Don't be afraid, because there are cases of driving 400 kilometers or more without replacement. In general, the 2.4 unit is famous for its above-average durability. With regular servicing, a mileage of 500 kilometers is no problem. That is why it is not worth being guided by the mileage when buying a car, but by the technical condition and possibly the service history. The more strained designs, especially the 2.5T, which you can buy already seriously worn, have less durability. Diesels are also very durable, although you should expect higher costs related to equipment wear. Until 2005, 2.4 units were very simple and were not equipped with a DPF filter. They have Bosch electromagnetic injectors, which are the cheapest possible to recondition. They can easily withstand 300 to 400 kilometers mileage, provided that good quality fuel is used and maintenance is taken care of. The 163 horsepower version is considered to be the most durable and least prone to failures. In diesel engines, it is worth remembering to replace the accessory drive every 90,000 kilometers and regularly check the condition of the tensioner. There are known cases of failure of this element and, as a consequence, serious damage to the engine. In summary, the most reasonable choice of engine in the Volvo V70 is the 2.4 petrol. Burning 6 to 7 L of diesel oil per 100 horsepower, diesels are very good praised, but potential repair costs can eat up 2 salaries. On the other hand, these are still better engines than most of the competition. What's wrong with the Volvo V70? The least durable area is the suspension. The front wishbone pins need to be replaced about once a year. With the right skills, you can do it yourself. It's worth getting the right tools and learning how to do it. The next and final weak point is automatic gearboxes. They last about 250 to 300 kilometers, and that's it. You can add occasional problems with electronics to that, and that's basically it. Corrosion appears in older models or those that were used in specific conditions. It's worth looking at the car from this angle. Is it worth buying a used Volvo V70? You can draw a simple conclusion. Volvo V70 repairs are quite expensive. That's true. Perhaps this is the factor that caused the value to fall quite quickly and created attractive market prices. The fact is, however, that not everything has to break down at once, and the only thing you will definitely have to do is replace suspension elements and adjust the valves in the 2.4 engine with a gas installation. The car's durability of 1,500 kilometers is probably its best advertisement. It breaks down very rarely. It is one of the last such cars of the Swedish brand, which is why I think it is worth buying, especially since it does not cost much. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.